The Live Stream Code and Rating Administration has rated this online event PG. All ages admitted. Please be kind and stay on topic.
Good evening and welcome to a special Valentine's Day edition of The Good Stuff Live. And since it is Valentine's Day, the topic of tonight's live stream is going to be the Love Boat. So, for those who don't know me, my name's Dave Sundstrom. I like to think of myself as something of a pop culture historian. And, I just love talking about classic TV, movies every now and again, and music as the occasion permits. So tonight we're going to talk about the Love Boat. I'm going to share a couple of songs that have to do with love. And we'll play a little game at the end of the hour. But before we get going, let's see who's in the chat, who's been visiting, who's been hanging out. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Melina Long has been here. Welcome, Melina. Marianne Lockwood says that she's currently watching the series now. Channel member Tracy Rothmeyers, a.k.a. Tracy's Fractured History and More, says, cannot wait. Adrian James, welcome to the live stream. Channel member Lance Chaffin, welcome. Says, did not know that you were streaming tonight, Dave. You know what? I didn't know I was going to either, but some time opened up for me, and so I thought, why not? Let's do her. Lance also says that Terry Hatcher got her start on the Love Boat as one of the dancers. That's absolutely true, and in a little bit I'll share a little news clip about that. Lance asks, where is everyone? Well, you know what? I didn't give everyone a lot of notice on this, so we've got 27 people watching right now. If all 27 of you could give this a thumbs up, that would be useful. I think that helps YouTube know to promote it on the homepage, and maybe we'll get a few more people to join us this evening. Okay, let's see. Lots of visiting back and forth. Gary Carpenter's here. Welcome, Gary. Good to have you with us. Rachel in the 208 is here as well. Welcome. Hello there, Rachel. So let me keep scrolling, see what else we've got going on here. Let's see. Gary says, I just finished watching Valentine's Day specials. Interesting. I've been watching a show on the Hallmark Channel through my Frndly TV subscription called The Way Home. It's a time travel show. Really, really good. I'm only a few episodes in, so I don't know if there's going to be any romance in it or not. It's the Hallmark Channel, so it wouldn't surprise me if there is. We've got someone revving a motorcycle or something outside of the house there. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Rachel says, I love the Love Boat. And channel member Tracy Rothmeyer says the Love Boat was one of my favorites. It sure was one of mine as well. The Hungry Jerk, Tom McCluskey says, hello. Good to have you with us, Tom. And channel member Lance Chaffin remembers that the Love Boat and Fantasy Island aired one after another on Saturday evening. Melinda Long points out that Bob Crane made his final appearance on the Love Boat. Sad story there for sure. And channel member Keithy says, hello all, I'm mostly going to be missing in action. I'll be listening. I do that a lot too. Sometimes I'm not able to be active in the chat, but I love just putting the live stream, whatever live stream I might be listening to on my phone, and just throw on a set of headphones and do whatever I need to do around the house. Snark and Sass, welcome to the live stream tonight. Good to have you here. Enjoyed watching you on Sarah's live stream last night. Wasn't able to participate very much. I was actually at school teaching and correcting papers last night, but it was fun to pop in and visit with you all for a minute or so. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, there's channel member Zuperplex. Welcome, Zuper. And Tasha Martin is here with us as well. Again, the topic tonight will be the Love Boat. And Becky Howard says, hi, Dave. I think you're an excellent pop culture historian. Great way to spend Valentine's Day. Thank you, Becky. Appreciate having you here hanging out with us tonight on the live stream. Chris Curtis, welcome to the chat, my friend. Good to have you with us. Raja 1938, welcome, welcome. Tom McCluskey says, watch The Love Boat every day on Pluto TV. What a great service Pluto TV is. If you don't mind the commercials, boy, oh boy, they've just got a wealth of programming over there on that streaming service. Tasha says, I love The Love Boat. Lisa Fields says, hello. Good to have you with us here tonight, Lisa. Hopefully I don't miss anybody. The Door to Beat Monk says, hey. Hey, right back at you. Good to have you with us here on the live stream tonight. Thank you for giving the live stream a thumbs up, Becky. Truly appreciate it. Hope everybody else did the same thing. Let's see what else we've got going. Superplex says the St. Valentine's Day Massacre is on YouTube. Well, there you go. That's some high-quality Valentine's viewing, right? Channel member Lisa A is with us tonight, and she says, happy Valentine's Day. Right back at you, Lisa, and thank you so much for all your support. John Phantom says, I have pictures of the wrecked cruise ship in Charlie's Angels Season 2, Episode 1 and 2, where they went to the U.S. Virgin Islands on the Love Boat. Very cool. Very, very cool. Karen Lee, welcome to the live stream. We're just working through the list of folks that are in the chat. Diana Soto, welcome to the live stream as well. Good to have you here. Let's see who else might be hanging out in the chat. Oh, this is interesting. Lance Chaffin, channel member Lance Chaffin, I should say, says that Tubi has a good Love Boat documentary. I did not know that. I will check it out. You know, along with Pluto TV, Tubi is fantastic. Actually watched the Super Bowl on Tubi this year, and they did a great job streaming the game, even though the outcome was not what I desired it to be. Let's see. I think I said hello to Adrian, but I will say hello again, Adrian. Good to have you with us. And I think that's it. I think I am caught up. So here's the plan. We are going to start with a video clip about Lauren Tewes and her favorite guest star on The Love Boat. And after that, I'm going to ask you all who your favorite guest star was. So don't put it in the chat yet, because if you do, I might miss it. But after we're done watching this video clip, I'm going to ask you, and I will put as many of your answers as I can on the screen, and we'll talk about them. After that, Lance earlier mentioned that Terry Hatcher had been on the Love Boat, and that had been her big break. We'll watch a clip about that. And then I will share a song. My first of two love songs, or songs about love tonight. And we'll go there. That's enough for right now. So without any further rambling, Lauren Tewes' favorite guest star, be prepared to share your favorite guest star with me afterward. Way back in the late 70s and early 80s, Lauren Tewes, along with the rest of the cast of Aaron Spelling's The Love Boat, was part of my must-see TV on Saturday nights. I loved everything about the show. The cast was great. For 9 seasons, they held together multiple storylines and frequently interacted with some really wonderful guest stars. Lauren, as the cruise director, Julie McCoy, was there to keep things sane and those storylines moving along. She was a very critical part of the show, and in my mind, kind of the breakout star during those early seasons. So with all that said, I bet you can't guess who her favorite guest star on the show was. If I already didn't know, I might go with someone like Charo or Tom Hanks or even Donny Osmond. But if I went with those answers, I'd be wrong. Because you see, this man was Lauren's favorite guest star. Yep, Mr. Vincent Price, the star of oh so many horror films from the 50s and 60s. Lauren, during a fairly recent interview, said that Vincent, during his time on the show, was smart, funny, and kind. 3 words you don't always hear these days when it comes to a description of a star of Vincent's caliber. In that interview, Lauren reminisced about Vincent's appearance on The Love Boat. in an episode titled Ship of Ghouls. She reflected on the time that they spent together in between takes talking about art, food, and other topics that, well, Lauren just found them absolutely fascinating. You can find the entire interview right here on YouTube. I'll post a link to it at the end of this video just in case you're interested in hearing more. In the same interview, Lauren was also asked who her least favorite guest star was, and you know what? I've got to give kudos to Lauren, because she would not answer that question. The interviewer pressed her to, without saying a name, just describe the guest star, and even then she declined. She said something like our world is so full of ugly stuff, she didn't want to add to that conversation. I was so impressed with that response, and Lauren, you are absolutely correct. In a world where every opinion is given a platform through the various social networks, there's no need to add fuel to that fire, unless there's something positive. Or if not that, at least something that's productive to be said. So as long as we're talking about Lauren, here's a quick update. She remains close to her former castmates from the show. That chemistry that existed way back in the late 70s and early 80s, well, it still runs strong even today. And a few years back, before the Pacific Princess was mothballed, she was invited back to that ship to celebrate her 60th birthday. I think it's great that she still feels connected to the cruise line and is able to accept invitations such as this one. To sum things up, Lauren takes things day by day and enjoys each one to its fullest. And that, my friends, is what we should all be doing. Okay, yes, enjoy each day to its very fullest, right? It's super important because we never know. We never know how much time we have on this big blue ball. I was actually in a car accident yesterday, really bad one. And I am fortunate that I had a relatively new truck that had 3 airbags: my steering wheel airbag, my driver's side door airbag, and an airbag in the seat of, in my seat as the driver. They all went off, and I'm bruised up a little bit, and my truck is in bad shape, but otherwise I'm okay. And I can tell you, as I saw the accident play out, I was not at fault, but as I saw it play out and realized that there was no way I was not going to be part of it, my life flashed in front of me for just a second there. And you just realize how precious and how slender that thread of life it is and how quickly it can go away. So, we do need to, like Lauren says, enjoy each day to the fullest. Lots of folks responding to that. Channel member Tracy Rothmeyer says, "Oh no, Dave, I'm sorry." It's okay. We're fine. Vehicles got hurt and I got bruised a little bit, but everything's fine. And let's see. Melina Long says, Bill Bixby and his wife were guest actors on the Love Boat. So now's the time. I don't know if Bill Bixby and his wife are favorites of Melina's, but now's your time to share your favorite guest star on the Love Boat, and I'll put them on the screen. In the meantime, Zuper, thank you so much. Appreciate that. I feel lucky to be with you tonight. Thank you, Cynthia Rejoice Lindsay, and welcome to the live stream, by the way. Good to have you with us. Thank you, Becky. Yeah, I love that truck. It's a relatively new truck, a 2022 Honda Ridgeline, and I'm hoping they don't total it, but they just might. Thanks, Raja, 1938. Okay, let's talk about favorites. Becky Howard says that Bill Bixby was on her favorite list. Channel member Zuperplex says Sharo. Yeah, she's great. She was awesome. She made double-digit appearances on the Love Boat as April. I can't remember her last name right now. Channel member Tracy Rothmeyer says Charo as well. Yep. Thank you, Karen Lee. Becky Howard says Dirk Benedict. Oh, there's a favorite actor of mine. I've done a video or two about Dirk Benedict over the years. Great guy, great actor. Gary Carpenter says Lana Turner, The Door to Beat Monk. Oh, yeah, this was a great one, too. Christy McNichol. Raj in 1938 remembers when Jerry Stiller and Ann Mira, a married couple there, were on the Love Boat together. Channel member Lance Chaffin says Charo. And Chris Curtis says, Dave, who was your favorite guest? That's a really good question. Let me think about that for a minute, and then I'll tell you. I'm already kind of starting to get an idea of where I'm going to go with this. It's two guests on the same episode. We'll talk about that in just a second. Gary Carpenter says Stuart Granger and Menudo. Lisa Phil says Charo, of course. Let's see. Gary Carpenter says Mackenzie Phillips. I'm seeing repeats for some reason. Folks are repeating their comments. No need to do that, people. No need to do that. Let's see. Rachel in the 208 says, how can you choose so many guests? Lots of great ones. Too High Hysteria. Welcome to the live stream. Says the Lander sisters. Very good choice. Very good choice. Gary Carpenter says Ethel Merman. Brian 70 Cuda says, good evening. Good evening, Brian 70 Cuda. I think we've already done Mackenzie Phillips, Gary. I think that's a repeat again. Why are you just sending the same ones over and over? Stop that, Gary. Stop it right now. And channel member Lance Chaffin says Heather Locklear. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. And Raja 1938, excuse me, Raja, says Barbie Benton. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Barbie seemed to be on Love Boat and Fantasy Island so many times during the late 70s, early 80s. And channel member Lisa A says Dean Butler of Little House on the Prairie fame. Great choices, everybody, and I appreciate all of the participation there. Gary Carpenter says John Aston, another good one. Didn't really love him as the Riddler on Batman, but great actor and obviously very, very good on The Addams Family. And I'm sure I saw that episode, but I don't remember it. And Lance, I don't remember Adam West being on the Love Boat. Are you certain of that, my friend? Are you certain? I could be wrong. Music Girl 67, channel member Ms. Elizabeth says, hello there and good evening to Dave and everyone. Just got in from work and ready to start the weekend. Happy Valentine's Day to all the lonely hearts out there like myself and to all others as well. Chris Curtis says, I think Michael J. Fox was a guest star. He sure was. And Matthew and Laura Sweeney say it's not just a cruise, it's a Love Boat. Absolutely. Rachel in the 208 says Allison Ingram. And Gary Carpenter, oh, this was a great one. This was a great one. Julie Newmar. And my favorite appearance, I don't know if she did more than one, but the one I remember is when she was with Don Knotts. Oh, such a good episode. Such a good episode. Karen Lee says, I loved all the stars from the golden age of Hollywood. And Zuperplex says, wasn't Heather Thomas in that thumbnail? I don't think she was in tonight's thumbnail. Zuper, channel member Zuperplex. Yeah, Tom Space says he wasn't quirky enough to be the Riddler. Frank Gorshin just nailed that role, right? Just nailed it. Cynthia Rejoice Lindsay says Robert Wagner. Great choice. Great choice. Yeah, Allison Arngren. She was good. She was good. Uncle Milty was fun too, for sure. For sure. And let's see, Melinda Long points out that Ernest Borgnine was a guest actor. Yeah, he was. And channel member Tracy Rothmeyer says Sonny Bono. Okay, we're going to stop there. Terry Hatcher. She got her start, believe it or not, on Love Boat. Hold tight, folks, because all the details are about to unfold.
Anyone in the union? SAG, Equity, Union?
8:30 in the morning at an exclusive nightclub on the west side of New York. On this bitterly cold January day, these women, over 600 in all, are the first in line for a shot at the big time. This fall, the popular TV series The Love Boat will set sail with some new, very talented, and very beautiful members of the crew. They will be called the Love Boat Mermaids.
We're going to have 8 mermaids, and they're going to be girls that are doing each show a 2-minute dance segment, and also various spots that work in the casino and do several acting spots. So
Ted McGinley, one of the Love Boat stars, along with show producer Dennis Hammer and choreographer Don Crichton, are beginning a nationwide search. This day in New York, at least one of these women will get the chance of a lifetime.
It's a wonderful job for the ladies. It really is. It's an extremely well-paying job, and they could become well-known through it. Okay, let's just do that beginning again. Yeah, it's not one of those things. If we get a high kick, it's better. It's small. Here, 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 here. Okay,
Everyone who has come to this open call is given a chance to show her talents. Experience in ballet, jazz, and tap is a must. And with 6 more cities to go and only 8 spots to fill, the choreographer is being very fair, but very picky.
Okay, would you step over there for me? All right, and thank you, ladies, the rest of you. Thank you.
From the original 600 hopefuls, 50 are asked to stay.
Thank you. All right, would you stay and you stay for me? Thank you, ladies. All right.
That number is quickly whittled down to 15.
Okay. Ladies, thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Then, as the theater lights begin to flicker on over Broadway, it has come down to just 6. At the end of a long and demanding day, one woman is about to be asked to fly to Los Angeles for the final audition.
All right, now the one that is going to get picked to go to California is Beth, for sure, okay?
I'm excited. I can't believe it. I don't know. I came here kind of on a fluke because it's not anything I really intended to come out and do, and it happened. I still can't believe it. I should go.
But believe it or not, Beth's next stop is Los Angeles for another day of dancing alongside 22 other finalists and in front of an even tougher panel of judges, including executive producers Aaron Spelling and Douglas Kramer and dance legends Sid Charisse.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Not all the celebrity onlookers are here for the voting. Some just came by to help with the hoping, including Love Boat captain Gavin McLeod.
I can't be involved in the final adjudicating. I just can't do that.
Why?
I'm a performer, and I've put myself out there so many times, and it's just something sensitive about it. I can't tell any performer no.
Even though there will be some losers today, it's the winners everybody's looking for. Again, the list of candidates grows shorter. Again, at the end of the day, scores are tallied and possibilities discussed in detail. Then, at last, 8 lucky women hear the beautiful sound of opportunity knocking as Aaron Spelling calls out their names.
Ms. Nancy Hammer, Ms. Terry Hatcher, Ms. Deborah Johnson, Ms. Andrea Moen, Ms. Debbie Bartlett, Ms. Beth Maya.
Now I'm a mermaid!
Ms. No Middle Initial Macarena, and Ms. Tori Bennett.
Oh, yay! And the 8th one called up. It was not fun. Not fun.
In New York when we talked, you said, well, we'll wait and see.
That's right. That's right. I want to count my chickens before they hatch, so they hatched.
It's been a long journey from a cold New York sidewalk to a warm reception by some of the biggest names in television. Now, Beth and the other mermaids have to get packed for an even longer trip aboard the Love Boat.
There you go. Terry Hatcher ended up being one of the mermaids during the final season of the Love Boat. I should acknowledge, Gary Carpenter says, Dave, my phone has a mind of its own. I'm not doing anything. Gotcha. I know crazy things happen with technology, so don't stress, my friend. Don't stress. I needed to share my favorite Love Boat guest stars, and they are actually the same as Thomas's. Robert Reed and Florence Henderson. Love it when they were on the Love Boat together. Although they weren't falling in love, but their stories briefly intersect, and it was a lot of fun. Gary Carpenter wanted to know when I had my accident yesterday. So, really, it's still very fresh for me. And I'm still feeling the aches and pains or the bruises, just I think it probably from the airbags, right? But would have been way worse if those bags hadn't gone off. So, all right, let's see what we got going here. Superplex, channel member Superplex says, so this is where she got her start. Absolutely. That's where she got her start. Out of 600, people auditioning. She was one of the final, I think it was 8. Cynthia Rejoice Lindsay says, amazing TV clip. Yeah, it was a cool one. And Raja1938 points out that Robert Reed and Florence Henderson were on the same episode, but they were paired with different people. Gary Carpenter says, Dick Sargent. Yeah, great guest. And Emily says, Gary's phone is a big fan of Mackenzie Phillips. Well, aren't we all? Aren't we all? Let's see. Melinda Long points out that Ralph Macchio was a guest star on The Love Boat. And channel member Lisa A says, what if The Love Boat and Beverly Hills 90210 worlds had collided? Aaron could have made it happen. That would have been cool. I love myself a good crossover. I love the Charlie's Angels Love Boat crossover. And that would have been neat. Absolutely, Spelling could have made it happen. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm taking it easy right now, Tracy. I'm taking it easy, that's for sure. The Door to Beat Monk says, sorry, one more huge favorite was John Ritter. How can you not love John Ritter? So great. Melinda Long points out that Tom Bosley was an actor on The Love Boat as well. And Tom Space's Charo. Yeah, absolutely. All right. I promised some love songs tonight. The first love song is a love song that I wrote to one of my favorite things. Now, my my greatest love, of course, is my wife. Love you, Kim. Happy Valentine's Day to you. But I also love a great many other things. Often they have to do with food. You can tell from my girlish figure, right? But anyway, this love song is called Pez.
Says you're nothing but trouble. My dentist says you're no damn good. My parents say you're just gonna hurt me. That's okay, screw the neighborhood. There's something about you. You're not like all of the rest. There's something about you. I love you. When I grab your head and I pull it back, you open your mouth and you give me candy kisses.
All right, we've got our first milestone message of the evening. This is from channel member Keith E., who has been a member of this channel, a supporting member of this channel for 26 months. He says, so glad you're okay. Wouldn't know what to do without your face. Well, thank you, Keith. Appreciate that. And I appreciate all your support over the many, at this point, many years. So thank you, good sir. Let's see. Oh, I like this comment. Well, the song is interesting. Indeed it is, Cynthia Rejoice, Lindsay. And unfortunately, that's a peek into my warped mind. A song I wrote probably 25 years ago now. Didn't sound exactly like that. The general melody was the same and the lyrics were the same. But maybe that explains the aggressiveness too, Rachel in the 208, given that it was written by a much younger Dave Sundstrom. But my love for Pez dispensers and the Pez candy, which I think are infinitely better than Smarties, still persists to this very day. Let's see. Doubleheader, welcome to the live stream, says, had the theme song as part of the customs Valentine's Day playlist I created on YouTube, which turns 20 today. Well, welcome to the live stream, and very, very cool, and certainly appropriate for any Valentine's Day playlist. All right, so what should we do next? What should we do next? Let me see. Let me get through a couple more comments here. Gruesome Twosome says, anyone know if there were any cool Love Boat toys? I don't recall any toys. I remember a coloring book, I think, but I don't remember toys. Let's see. Channel member Music Girl 67 says Dave was in an accident. Yeah, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like I definitely had a guardian angel watching over me yesterday. And Chris Curtis says, now I need to get my hands on the Love Boat DVD. Yes, you do. I believe it's on a couple of streaming services, Pluto in particular. But, you know, if you have the DVDs, you don't have to watch the commercials. Tom McCluskey, he would know, says Gruesome, there are Love Boat toys. I have a few. Tom, tell us about them. Please tell us about them, and I'll put them on the screen, or I'll put your comments on the screen. Terrell Eugene Bellinger aptly points out the Love Boat walked so the White Lotus could run. Love it. Love it. Rachel in the 208 says the guy who played Isaac, Ted Lang, had a good experience with Gene Kelly. I watched that interview not too long ago, and I actually plan on making a video about that later. So great. Good comment, and I really enjoyed listening to Ted talk about his interactions with Gene. Chris Curtis says, that's why I get the DVDs, talking about not having to watch the ads. Anytime doubleheader. Always a treat to have you hanging out with us here on the live stream. A reminder, folks, to hit that thumbs up on the screen. Give the live stream a like. It helps YouTube know to promote the live stream on the homepage, which means that we get more visitors, more people in the chat. All sorts of fun, right? Gary Carpenter points out Charlie's Angels crossed over to the Love Boat. Yes, they did. Very cool. And channel member Music Girl 67 says, I think I put it on the screen, didn't I? Maybe not. Third time commenting this, Desi Arnaz Jr. and David Cassidy are my favorite guest stars from the Love Boat. Ooh la la. You're going to make me say ooh la la. Betty White was fantastic too. She sure was. Oh, Tracy, I've got all the Pez I need and more. You keep yours, I'll keep mine. Becky Howard says, but thank you for the offer. That's kind. Becky Howard says, I like Kirstie Alley, Joyce DeWitt, and yes, the great Betty White. Lance wants to know if the watch party is still on for Monday. It is indeed. It looks like we're going to be watching. It's a channel member only live stream, so it's going to be just a handful of us, but we're going to be watching together the Scared Stiff pilot, which starred unaired pilot. It never sold. It wasn't broadcast on TV, and it stars Bob Denver and Warren Berlinger. And it is a sitcom that was done by Gary Marshall. and Jerry Paris, they of Happy Days fame, before Happy Days. Okay, I think we are good. We're caught up, which means it's time to go on to our second video of the evening. This time we're going to talk about good old Jill Whelan. Yep, Vicky, the captain's daughter. I will see you all in a few minutes, but we'll do Jill's video, and then we might do a Love Boat promo too. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. Be back in a minute, folks. Growing up, going on a cruise was something that I thought only wealthy people could afford to do. Maybe that was because my folks really weren't all that much into vacations in general. Anyway, because of that belief, I pretty much thought that Vicky Stubing, as played by Jill Whelan on ABC's classic TV show The Love Boat, was the luckiest girl in the world.
It's a special night on the Love Boat when the captain's past catches up with him.
Are you going to tell me about sex?
And she wants her daddy. Then on Fantasy Island, an old flame returns to stay.
I love you.
And the boss finally gets his fantasy to come true.
Tomorrow.
Making her debut during one episode of Season 2, by the time Season 3 was in full swing, Vicky was pretty much a regular on the show. Yep, for a young teenager such as myself, I thought this girl really had it all. She got to travel the world while meeting really interesting people week after week on the show. And her dad was pretty cool too. He was the captain of the Pacific Princess. Although I could have sworn that in another life that guy had been a news writer for the evening news or something like that. Oh well, I must have been wrong. Anyway, you get it right. Every Saturday night, my sister Valerie and I would eagerly anticipate watching The Love Boat and hope that if we were lucky, our folks would let us stay up a bit later and watch Fantasy Island as well. And around the same time as Jill's debut on The Love Boat, she also showed up in this little movie. Holy cow, that was a funny scene, and truth be told, Jill was the best part of it. Of course, my favorite part in the movie has to go to that jive-talking grandma played by Beaver Cleaver's mother, Barbara Billingsley. But that, my friends, is a story for another day. Getting back to Jill and The Love Boat, I kind of feel like we grew up together. Yep, lots of laughs and a tear or two. Love Boat was like that. Mostly funny, but every now and again it would get you right there, tugging at your heart. I guess that's one of the reasons I like the show so much. So in all, Love Boat ran for 9 seasons on ABC, and during that time Jill would show up on various TV specials as well. A favorite of mine was when she was on the Battle of Network Stars. I loved all of the events on that show. I really did, but for whatever reason, that darn dunk take event would have me glued to the television.
It's actually very nice. That's a hit and a dunk.
After Love Boat ended, I've got to say that I kind of lost track of Jill. I didn't mean to, I really didn't. But truthfully, I don't believe I was the only one. So what happened? Where did this talented lady go? Well, the answer to that is she really didn't go anywhere for the next decade or so. Jill would make all sorts of appearances on a variety of different shows, along with a Love Boat movie as well as the Robert Urich spin-off Love Boat The Next Wave. But then right around 1998, based on the research that I was able to do, it does appear that Jill decided to step away from acting, at least in front of the camera. She became a producer in Los Angeles and even spent some time teaching acting to kids. And along with her career change, Jill and her husband also started a family. With all that going on, it seems fair to say that she was just living her best life, and at least for a while, that appeared to be enough. At least until 2012 rolled around, and then for whatever reason, Jill was back and busier than ever. The first thing that I noticed was when Jill made an appearance along with longtime friend Charo on the ABC television program Celebrity Wife Swap. And she also started a podcast with Brian Phelps, one half of the famous LA radio duo Mark and Brian. And roughly around the same time, Jill also appeared in the family-oriented holiday film A Christmas Tree Miracle, which, by the way, you can watch in its entirety here on YouTube. Not a bad little movie, if you ask me. A couple of years later, Jill made a cameo appearance on The Bold and the Beautiful, appearing as a group counselor for a couple of episodes. This wasn't the first time that Jill had appeared on a soap opera, having made a guest appearance on The Young and the Restless way back in 1997. And then, in 2015, Jill was named Celebrations Ambassador for Princess Cruises. Really, if you think about it, this is a match made in heaven. Over the years, Jill has found ways to stay connected with the cruise line that made her famous, and this official role is pitch perfect. Speaking of celebrations, in 2017, Jill tied the knot for a third time, marrying former Denver Broncos QB Jeff Napple. Things really seem to be clicking for Jill these days. In fact, nowhere was this more evident than on the Today Show's interview with the cast of The Love Boat to celebrate that show's 40th anniversary. I know, how can that show be 40 years old? But it is. Trust me, I've done the math. Anyways, you can see this interview is also available right here on YouTube. It's a fun one to watch, and Jill, as always, is a hoot. For those wanting to keep track of Jill on social media, she has a strong presence on both Facebook and Twitter. In fact, it was on Twitter where I first learned about Gavin MacLeod's passing. Yep, one of the people that I learned about it from was Jill. And it was on Facebook where I learned about another one of Jill's projects, a new movie called Take It From the Top, directed by Isaac the bartender himself, Mr. Ted Lang. The show appears to be inspired very loosely by Jill's life, but from what I can tell, it also appears to deviate substantially from real-life events to take the film into some fairly comedic places. I haven't seen it yet, but I sure would like to. It really looks like fun. One final thing that you can watch on YouTube is a great video that's been posted by Princess Cruises on their official channel. The video is all about family and features Jill's two sons. All in all, it's a very cool video in which Jill also celebrates her 50th birthday. Check it out when you get a moment and you'll see exactly why it makes a ton of sense for Princess Cruises to align themselves with this talented lady.
Spending time together in a special way, side by side we two sharing dreams that happen every day. Warm and tender feelings, friendships old and new. Every moment means so much. Take good care of it. I've got to leave my son and son in that special time. Yours and mine.
That one gets me right there in the feels, right? Oh, that's a good promo. That's the power of the promos during the late 70s and early 80s. And ABC was particularly good with those network promos. Music Girl 67, channel member, Ms. Elizabeth says, so glad to see that the cream of the crop are all here tonight. Now I don't feel so lonely. Me neither. I have to tell you, my wife is away on this Valentine's Day. She's at a convention for her job. And because of that, we had a nice phone call earlier. And of course, we visited through text messaging. And I slipped a card in her suitcase, but we will have to celebrate with a celebratory dinner when she gets home. But I'm like the rest of you guys tonight. I'm flying solo. Well, I don't know. Many of you probably aren't flying solo, but Music Girl 67, myself, probably a handful of us, were flying solo, and there's no better way than to hang out with a bunch of good friends here on YouTube. So thanks for joining us tonight. Gruesome Twosome says, wow. Let's see. Channel member Keith E says, Music Jewel, remember, sometimes the cream of the crop contains cream corn. Channel member Music Girl 67 says that ABC commercial sounds as if it was sung by Maureen McGovern. Yeah, she does kind of, doesn't, or the song does kind of, doesn't it? And channel member Tracy Rothmeyer says, so cute, this ad. Definitely cute. Doubleheader says the promos from the big four networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox back then were must-see. Yeah, I loved them. I would not turn the channel if a promo came on. Cindy D says, I am solo since my husband died in 2015. I did not know that. My condolences, Cindy D, and thank you for hanging out with us and spending part of your Valentine's Day with us. John Phantom says, I see my 10-year-old niece tomorrow morning. I have a chocolate rose and a card for her. Late Valentine's. That's awesome, John Phantom. Thanks for sharing. Becky Howard says, it sure has been nice to be solo with you all. Well, it's definitely nice having you with us here as well, Becky. Let's see. Channel member Superplex says, thanks a lot, Music Girl and Mr. Sundstrom. I feel truly honored. Rachel in the 208 says, I would rather stick a needle in my eye than be in a relationship again. Oh, well, that sounds like there weren't some good experiences, and I apologize. Well, I feel bad about that, Rachel, but thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Let's see. CJ Panning, welcome to the live stream, says Don Adams was in an episode of The Love Boat. I wonder if he had a run-in with Bernie Cobbo from old Get Smart days. Yes, I wonder. Let's see. Folks talking to Cindy and expressing their condolences. Let me scroll down. Terrell Eugene Bellinger says, The Love Boat is famous for its guest stars from old Hollywood to up-and-comers to those out of their usual comfort zone. Yeah. That was the great thing about the show. It would be, people that were trying to make it in the business and people that had been in the business for decades. Gruesome Twosome says, who was the guest star that appeared the most on the show? I want to say it was Florence Henderson, and followed by Charo. Let's see what else we've got here. Folks naming names. I think we've already seen Lorenzo Lamas and Ann Southern, Gary, so I'm not going to put it back on the screen. Let's see. Brent Heyman, welcome to the live stream. Didn't see you. I don't think I've acknowledged you. Great to have you here. Thanks for spending your Valentine's Day night with us. All right. I think I'm caught up here for a minute, which is great. We're going to keep this to a lean, mean hour like we always do. I've got another love song for you. Oh, if you thought the last one was a doozy, this is the school. This song is about the school of love that I attended. Yep, the Don Knotts School of Love. So hope you'll all bear with me for, I think this is just 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 11 seconds worth of goodness. But yeah, let's learn a little bit more about the Don Knotts School of Love. We'll be back and play a game and call it an evening.
How do you heal a broken heart when you don't know where to start? She fell out of love long before I did. She said we needed some time apart. Welcome to the Don Knotts School of Love. First in my class I was a cut above. Girl number 2 was named Thelma Lou, and that girl, she wanted me bad, but she left me standing at the altar waiting. I guess she didn't know what she had. Welcome to the Don Knotts School of Love. First in my class I was a cut above. Every lesson learned came with some pain, but I can't complain, it's all part of the game. Janet and Chrissy were a couple of girls who were living next door to me. I dated them on and off for a while, just enough for them both to see. I graduated from the Don Knotts School of Love. I graduated from the Don Knotts School of Love. Don Knotts and his School of Love. Don Knotts, Don
All right, we're back. Yes, I graduated from the Don Knotts School of Love. A couple questions. Let's see here. Gruesome Twosome way back a little while ago asked, was the Love Boat ever in the top 10 rating-wise? It sure was. It maybe not over the course of an entire year on average, but it made the top 10 ratings numerous times during its run. And Zuperplex, channel member Zuperplex asks, was Don Amici ever on the Love Boat? I seem to remember him being on the Love Boat. Folks, correct me if I'm wrong. I can't cite a specific episode, but I seem to remember him making an appearance. Okay, let's get back to the live chat here. Yeah, Doubleheader says Don Knotts appeared on the Love Boat. I remember him, yeah, the episode with Julie Newmar. That was a fun one. Let's see. Karen Lee says, very impressed. Thank you. That's, again, if you heard, and I actually have it on the channel, there's an acoustic version of me actually playing it and singing it with my brother Steve from about 20 years ago. So the recording isn't as great as that is. That's obviously AI enhanced, but it's fun to write songs every now and again. I've always been a bit of a poet. Let's see. Channel member Lance Chaffin says it's been 35 years since my mom died in 1990. I'm sorry to hear about that, Lance. It's no matter how long it's been since someone passed, the ache, still there. And quite frankly, someone who's lost two sisters, I'm glad it's still there. I don't ever want there to be a day where I don't, really hurt when I think about my sisters and missing them. To me, that would be even more empty and more painful if the pain went away, if that makes any sense at all. Channel member Zuperplex says, how did that school ever get accredited? I do not know. I do not know. And they definitely should have given me my money back. Let's see. Channel member Lisa A says, I loved Fantasy Island too. I did too. My sister Val and I, we would watch the doubleheader, right? The block. And it was usually date night for my parents. So that would mean we'd have TV dinners and the Love Boat and Fantasy Island and get to stay up a little late because, school the next day, Sunday. It was great. Becky Howard asks, which did people like better, the Love Boat or Fantasy Island? I like the Love Boat. Becky, don't hold it against me, but I loved Fantasy Island. It's probably my favorite of the two, simply because of the fantastical elements of that show, and I've always really loved Ricardo Montalban. Melina Long points out the Suzanne Summers appeared on the Love Boat. Okay. And Tracy Roth Myers points out that Google actually has a list of famous stars that were on the Love Boat, and Matthew and Laura Sweeney. I want to say Matt, but I actually had a friend years ago at work who really wanted to be called Matthew, and so I realized that there's some folks that prefer to be called Matthew over Matt. So Matthew and Laura Sweeney says yes, Don Amici was on. Let's see. Gruesome Twosome says the major toy companies missed out on a great chance to come out with an Isaac Bar play set with drunk figures drinking. That's a good one. That is a good one. I love it. Cindy D points out that says Janet, Christy, and Janet all appeared separately. Janet and Christy all appeared separately. Everyone but Michael Evans from Good Times appeared as well. Okay, awesome. All right, with that said, let's play a little game real quick. Let's do, some of you have probably played this already, but we'll play it again. Let's see how many of these guest stars you can identify. And then I'll ask for your scores when we're done playing. All right, be back in just a couple of minutes. Are you a fan of the classic TV show The Love Boat? Here are 12 slightly obscured images of guest stars from that show. Can you guess them all? I don't know. There are a couple pretty tough ones in the mix. All right, best of luck to you. You are going to need it. Now let's get going. How did you do? Don't forget to share your score in the comments section. And if you're up for the challenge, here's another fun trivia video for you to match your wits against. Thank you so much for playing, and regardless of your score, you are awesome. Indeed, you are all awesome. Now, what would really be awesome is if you were somehow able to have kept track of your scores. Let me know what you think or how you did. Let's see. Thrash Pondo, my friend Bob Ponce, was able to keep track of his score. He says he got 7 out of 12. Let's see. Becky Howard only missed 3, 9 out of 12. That's awesome, Becky. Channel member, oh, we're moving too fast for me. Channel member Lisa A says, I only got 5. Not bad. Not bad at all. Terrell Eugene Bellinger got 12 out of 12. Well done, Terrell. Cindy D missed Vanessa. So of those, she got 9 out of 10. Leslie Massey, welcome to the live stream, Leslie. Good to have you here. Says only 4. My memory is worse than I thought it was. Channel member Zuperplex is 9 out of 13. Well, 9 out of 12. There were only 12 there. And channel member Tracy Rothmeyer says that was fun. Rachel in the 208 points out that was Vanessa Williams right before she was dethroned. Rachel in the 208 got 9 tonight. Channel member Lance Chaffin got 5 of 10. Matthew and Laura Sweeney got 9 out of 12. Even Don Amici, I knew he was in there. Cindy D, 11 for 12. Nicely done. Wow, nicely done. And let's see. Channel member Music Girl 67, about half, she thinks. Guest Audrey for Judy. I say you get a point for that one. Karen Lee missed 2. She missed Debbie Reynolds and Martin Short. The Martin Short one was tough. That was early in his career. And Becky says that was lots of fun. It certainly was. And we are over the hour mark. What am I doing? I always try to keep these things to an hour. I'm going to let Becky's comment be the last comment for the evening. Oh, nope. I accidentally clicked on another one. Look at that. There's Lisa A. Music Girl 6. Music Girl, I thought it was Audrey 2. So let's see. Looks like Tracy's taken off. Folks are I can't even click on anything in the chat. It's moving so fast for me right now. But I will just say this. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight on Valentine's Day night. It's been great to have you all here with me, reminiscing about one of the all-time great classic TV shows, right? One of the all-time great, The Love Boat, and then right after that, Fantasy Island. It doesn't get better than that. The late 70s, early 80s were awesome on Saturday nights. Thank you, ABC TV Network, for making our Saturday nights just a little bit better. All right, everybody's saying good night. Everybody's saying happy Valentine's Day. I will say the same thing to you all. Good night to you all, and a very, very happy Valentine's Day. Take care.
You didn't have to do it, but you did. So thank you very much for your support. Click on that thumbnail, cause it's time to go. Dave's got the classics, let the memories flow. TV shows and movies that we all hold so dear. On his YouTube channel, he's keeping memories near. Dave Sundstrom, bringing back the good stuff, oh yeah.